10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Real WTH show. Oh, no, it's not. It's WTH Breakout episode 19.
Take two.
Yeah, we'll go for the clip at the end. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to WTH Breakout episode 19. I am your hairy host, Tommy.
Oh, I thought you were having trouble thinking of the word host. I was going to help you out.
Oh, well, no. But the voice you just heard is the magnificent Wilson coming at you live. Well, him and I are live, but you're not listening to it live. Wilson, how are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good. It's been a little while.
I know. We had a good run last week. We were back in the studio last week, which was nice. And now
Was that last week?
Was it?
No, that was a week and a half ago.
Sorry, last episode.
Yeah, last episode.
A lot has gone on the past couple of weeks, so everything's kind of blurred together here. But yeah, that was fun, dude. That was a good episode. We got it out kind of a little late. We had some technical difficulties on my end. And then I went up to the studio to try to fix it, and it didn't fix it. So I ended up having to quickly edit the video and then edit the audio off of the video. That's why it took so long to get out. And then I was on my vacation, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
I went on a little vacation.
You want to talk about it now, or you want to talk about it later?
No, I don't care.
Let's talk about it later. We could segue it in together.
Okay.
It'd be very nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to be back. I know we took, like I said, a couple. There's been like a good week or so gap in between recordings, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And this is before, I just want to get this out of the way before we start, getting into all the fun stuff. A lot of the news content that we come up with a show, I will search for, and I noticed that searching for a good story was hard to come by these past couple of weeks. And I was just inundated with so much hate and just disturbing scenes on everywhere I looked, no matter where I looked. And I'm like, you know what? I got to check out. I can't look at anything right now. So I literally unplugged for a whole week from any social media or every social media, and just concentrated on getting myself, to a place of being happier again, I guess. So basically I, no Instagram, no Facebook, none of that. And it kind of worked, and it made me feel good. And then, so when I went to go look for good stories like I did today, I didn't go to Yahoo News and look at that. I actually just Googled good news stories, and then I found nice ones to search for. I didn't have to search through sift through all the garbage to get to the good. So I had to take a little bit of a mental break from all the negativity. So that's kind of why we kind of have a little bit of a gap in between the last two episodes. There's just been a lot going on, and for our sake, and for I think your sake, we're not really going to talk about what's been going on as far as the riots and stuff go. At least the main controversy of it, just because there's really nothing we could say that would be accepted or seen good by anybody. No matter what we say, we're not going to please everybody. So if you want negativity, just turn on the news. I don't want to have our show just be negativity. I want to have some funny stories, some good uplifting stories. And if you're wanting some more of that doom and gloom, hop on the old TV or the internet and go find it, because it's not hard to find right now. So with that being said, hopefully we could do this, because we had a little bit of a technical issue on this show right now. We're going to get into our world famous segment. I think it's award winning. It could be. I'm not sure. But this is going to be our
Beers and cheers.
We'll see if that shows up.
Yeah, so ghetto. So if you're not watching the video, that may sound a little bit weird. For some reason, I'm running my new microphone now, and for some reason, the last show we did, I ran my new microphone at the studio, so I have my new microphone with me at home now, and my soundboard is not going through the call. It's going through my headphones, so I had to take my headphones off, put my headphones up against the microphone. So we are just ghetto here today.
A little bit.
A little bit. I'm going to kick my drink off, mainly because this one right here was suggested by Giggles McGee, and she got me hooked on it. And I want to show off my little koozie that I got right now, my Relentless Defender koozie that Wilson got me. This thing has saved my life at work so many times, because I'll just drink half my drink, go into the store, do my job, come back, it's still cold. I love it. But my drink, and this is going to be making me sad to say this, because if you go back to our earlier episodes, I used to hate these drinks. This is LaCroix. Limoncello.
Oh, that one's pretty good.
Yeah. If you like lemon cream pies, drink this, because I don't know what sorcery or what magic they do. This literally tastes like you're drinking a lemon cream pie. It is amazing. I love this thing. It's so good. Oh yeah.
I usually take the lime and the lemon ones and mix them together, and it tastes like 7-Up.
That might be good. We got the key lime one, and I drank it, and I was like, man, that tastes a lot like the limoncello. And my wife agreed with me. She's like, that tastes like the limoncello. But we're now experimenting with the other flavors of LaCroix. The only one that I just don't like is bubbly. I don't think bubbly makes a good one.
Bubbly makes all the good ones.
You're full of it.
No.
I've been hooked on the LaCroix, the AHA waters, and then my ultimate favorite one is from Trader Joe's blueberry lemonade. And the only thing is you gotta go to Trader Joe's to get it, and that's like, Trader Joe's is like limiting the amount of people that can walk in, so usually you're waiting outside for a little while. I was at Trader Joe's today just before this recording actually, and we grabbed a couple cases of them. Those things are good. I could polish them down like there's no tomorrow. But if I was to rate this, this would be 10 out of 10 for me. This is like my go-to right now. I love it. I always have it on hand.
I have a better thing on hand.
This is cool.
Yeah.
You surprised me with this thing.
I did. So as always, well, not always, but a lot of times, this is from Thin Line. So they went and had a bunch of new labels done, because, I mean, most of their labels kind of represented Thin Blue Line, but they aren't just the Thin Blue Line. They recognize all lines. So like green, orange, yellow, silver. So they wanted to do some new labels. This one is actually their military one. I don't know if people.
It's kind of hard to see in the
camera.
video. Yeah.
But the wording on it is green camo. So it looks pretty cool though.
I like that.
And they did a fire one that has like flames in the lettering. And
Now, are those only out during certain times, or do they always have them on hand? You request them?
I think they're printing these normally now.
Okay.
Because before they were only printing the one.
But they're still printing their old ones too, like their normal logo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
But the beer It is Night Watch and is a black IPA. And I was excited for this. I was there when Scott was brewing it, and it smelled delicious. And I told him, I was like, I've only ever had one, and that was Solid Grounds when they did Brian Ishmael's beer for the fundraiser.
That was the big one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a black IPA. So I was excited to try this one. So I'm gonna open it up right now.
Well, according to my sound effect, we already did.
I mean-
Fail. Yours is actually legit. Mine's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to like go grab a napkin here.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I like that label though. I like that idea of the flames. I want to see the fire one.
I wonder if I have one. I think I might.
Now they'll put anything in that can, right? So it's not just Night Watch. It'll be, you could have your opposite of ordinary or your ordering chaos in there, right? You just,
It's basically random.
okay. So can you request those cans? Like if you're a collector, like we were
Yeah.
at the beginning of the show?
Yeah, you could. I'll be right back. Entertain the masses.
Oh man, I don't know what to say, how to entertain people. Yeah, well, I'll just tell you what we're gonna talk about today, I guess, because Wilson's walked away from the computer. We're gonna be talking about a fun DoorDash story. I got myself a new drone, which is pretty cool. And I don't know, maybe dive
Okay.
into a few other things. He's back. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh gosh. I'm
stop talking about yourself.
running out of breath. I don't know what else to talk about. I could talk about you.
Okay.
It'd be boring. man.
So I tried this when I was there at the brewery the other day, a little taster, but I'm excited to have a full one. And I actually get to try it on the show for once.
Yeah.
Finally not doing this in the morning.
Yeah, so someone's schedule changed. It's your schedule's slowly starting to become more normal.
Okay, so it's interesting because I mean, if you've ever had like a stout or just a dark beer, that tastes like kind of a toasted malty type of taste. Almost kind of, some of them can taste like a syrup, but this one doesn't. But you could tell it's like it's toasted. But then it's an IPA, so you get the hoppy taste, because I think this is 66 IBU, so it's pretty high on the bitterness scale, and you get a good bitter finish at the end. So if you like a hoppy, more bitter IPA, this is good, but it's different because you get the toasted dark taste in the beginning. I really like it.
Yeah. What would sorry, I'm moving my picture over here. So it actually looks like I'm looking at the camera. What would you rate it?
This is up there for me. Like,
Oh,
I think I want to try some more black IPAs after this. It's at least a 4. I wish there was something in between of 4.75 and a 5, because I would put this there.
okay.
But we won't quite give it a 5, so we'll do 4.75.
4.75. Yeah, make sure you give me a good picture of that too, because I'd like to see it as far as the that logo goes, because it's kind of hard to see on the video.
Yeah.
Because of the shine. It's probably the shine off my bald head is what's causing all the issues. It usually is.
Probably.
But now, when you say black IPA, is that kind of what I may have asked this before? Is that technically what a Guinness is, or is that like a malt? I don't know.
No,
these things.
Guinness is a stout.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't drink Guinness. It's dark. Like normally, like an IPA, you'll be able to like see through it. If it's a hazy, it'll be kind of cloudy, but it'll be like that light brown color. This
Mhm.
is dark. It almost looks like coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a dark, like that. Utopia.
Yeah. Here
Okay.
you go. I got some fancy glasses here, so
Where are those from?
They're just from here.
Oh, those are the Airbnb exclusive or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, you're out of frame right now.
See how dark that is?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that literally looks like it's like a cappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said before, like I was with the show when we were all up there. I had that hazy little thing, and I was like, man, I can actually handle that thing. That hazy little
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know. This is different. You might like it. I don't know. It's got a different taste to it. It's not all grass, dirt, and love.
Well, it is in my world. I mean, it's not.
Mhm.
It's never gonna be my first go-to, but um, I respect it. And man, I'm telling you, man, Thin Line, they're putting out some stuff, man. Like hearing that episode, going back and hearing their plans, and then I didn't know about the cans. That's cool. Like their creative team is awesome.
They're a creative person.
The creative department,
Yeah.
HR or whoever. Our HR department is just our wives, so they're the ones that keep us in line.
Yep.
My wife doesn't listen, so
Oh, mine does.
yeah, I'll usually get like a text from Giggles and be like, she's like, yeah, let's talk about this, or she's actually been the trooper of like a lot of the good news stories. Actually, she'll send me, she'll like, you should talk about this. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one right there. So cool. So you got a 4.75 on that. I'll log that in later into the old Untapped machine. So first of all, did you have anything on your docket today?
I've got nothing.
Oh, Handy, are you there? Is this Handy?
Give that guy a call.
So I said we weren't going to talk about, and we're not going to, but in a roundabout way, it has something to do with it. So one of the things that we've always been against here was cancel culture. And with ever since the George Floyd thing has happened, a lot more things are getting canceled because people's feelings are getting hurt. And some of the things are just getting crazy. They just canceled Cops, Live PD, and now they're wanting to cancel freaking Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol, because the little dog or whatever is a cop. Lego has stopped making their police car little sets.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And then there's like a set for like the White House as well. Like, who's that benefiting, really? I mean, if you're going to cancel all this stuff, because I saw a sign at one of the riots, which is funny. It said, "Don't blame us, like for rioting by the few that are, like don't blame all the protesters for the few that are rioting." I'm like, think about that for a second. Well, there's a few bad apples in there, right?
Yeah.
Blaming everybody. I'm all, really think about what you just said. I'm all, because that right there, you just answered your own question as far as police go. There's a few bad apples, but you just completely just blanket statement everybody and said everybody, all that. And
One thing that I would say about all this is I feel like I have seen a lot more of the people who are there to like protest and voice that First Amendment stuff.
Mhm.
Like they're getting mad at the people who are doing the rioting and stuff like that.
I've seen that too, and that's reassuring to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm all for protesting. That is America right there. That is, and I see it, and I've even seen people starting to vandalize stuff, and I've seen protesters go over there. I saw this one guy, he was beating up a sidewalk, and he was like breaking up chunks of concrete to throw at the cops, and the protesters went over there and grabbed the guy, threw him to the ground, roughed him up a little bit, and they dragged him over to the cops and said, take him, and they took him. Like, I'm all for that, man. Like if you need to have a voice if you think you're not being heard, and if people, which they are taking advantage of your constitutional right, you have every right to sit there and call them out on it. And I think there's a lot of the protests I see, I'm like, that's good. That right there, that's how it needs to be done right there, man. That's awesome. Cancel culturing isn't going to do anything. They just got rid of Gone with the Wind on HBO.
Yeah, and that's a little weird because the black lady that acted in that movie, I'm pretty sure she was the first black woman to ever receive an Oscar.
You know, I've never seen the movie. My wife was actually in the middle of watching it. I think it's like a 4-hour long movie.
Yeah, it's really
And
long.
and so she's in the middle of watching it, so she's kind of bummed. Um, if you go on, remember when coronavirus first hit, and I think we talked
What?
about this.
What's that?
Coronavirus, like, oh, sorry, my bad, the Kung Flu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember that.
Yeah, we haven't heard about it. Did it go away? I don't know. But when that first,
Cancel that.
yeah, when that thing first hit, I would get like emails from every single like company like I'm on a mailing list for Red Robin, loyalty rewards, whatever. We you know, here at Red Robin, we're taking precautions for coronavirus and doing this. And I'm like, I okay, I hope you guys were already taking like cleansing precautions beforehand, you
Yeah.
know. So I hear all this stuff, and then now every single company is sending out like, we stand with minorities. I'm like, I always thought you did. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need you to come out and like say, hey, we stand with you. I mean, I know it's a thing to show support, I get that, but like I've heard stories of like people will be online playing Call of Duty, then all of a sudden the screen will go black and it'll say, we stand with Black Lives Matter, while you're playing your game. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure we, and I this is just my personal thing. I'm not gonna speak on behalf of you, but I had a serious conversation with my daughter about Black Lives Matter, and I said, yeah, Black lives do matter. I believe Black Lives Matter. I don't believe in their organization. Their organization has a lot of quirks, a lot of tweaks, and if you look at who's behind it, it's not funded from the greatest people. And so I believe Black people have had injustices, and it needs to be taken care of. And there's bad cops, they need to be taken care of. But the organization as a whole, I don't really like that organization. Just like there's some certain organizations I don't like Goodwill as an organization. You know, I don't, just because you're an organization doesn't mean I have to side with you, but I can side with the main root cause, or your actual vision. But when it comes to um, like when it comes to like I said, violence and stuff like that, which I don't think I don't think any of that's really Black Lives Matter. I think that's all Antifa actually infiltrating that and causing that to happen, which is really irritating for me, because they're taking advantage of a serious issue. But when it comes to like cancel culture and stuff like that, uh, you're not going to do any good canceling those shows or anything. All you're doing is just like they're taking down statues now. You're erasing history. I mean, I always thought Live PD was better than Cops, because Live PD showed, I mean, it was probably delayed a little bit, but like, if anything, it seemed it was transparent. I thought that's what everyone wanted, was transparency.
Yeah. I think that was their goal too. Because I mean, Cops, like, yeah, they had some cool scenes and stuff, but it was edited. You know, Live PD's not edited.
Yeah, it's like a sports game. I heard it on a radio show the other day. They compared it to NFL Red Zone, where
Yeah.
it's basically if you don't know what NFL Red Zone is, it's basically you could be watching like, you know, 5 football games at one time, and then when it's like, you know, at the 50-yard line, it's really not that exciting. But when you get down to like to the 20 and the 10, that's like, you know, that's where a play is going to be exciting. So it'll automatically go to that game where an exciting play is, you know, like a game-changing play could happen, and it'll go to that. That's essentially what Live PD is. It's like, oh, we have a call coming from Salinas. Let's go to Salinas and watch this officer take this call. It's really amazing. And some of them are high-speed chases, and some of them end up being nothing. Some of them end up being funny. But I just, you know, the whole cancel culture thing, man, like I don't get it. Candace Owens, I'm not sure if you know who Candace Owens is. she had something said about her the other day by the comedian Dave Chappelle, and I'm not going to repeat what he said. And Dave Chappelle is a black man. I think everybody knows who Dave Chappelle is. Candace Owens is actually a black woman, and when she's conservative, and he said something about her, and her tweet back I thought was just very awesome. She laughed and said, "That's so funny." She goes, "I think Dave Chappelle is one of the funniest guys out there. I think he's great. I'm a huge fan. Uh, you know, I'm not even gonna." She didn't call for canceling it. She's just like, I would like to see him say it to my face, but I think it's funny. And because who are we to like just say, oh, because we don't like something, shut it down? And someone else said the other day, they said, well, if we're gonna have cops taken off the TV, live PD taken off the TV, let's have every rap song that is hate filled against cops, let's have those taken off too. I'm like, well, I see your point, but I don't believe in cancel culture. That's their right to, if they're mad, they're allowed to speak up and say they're mad, and they're allowed to voice their opinion. But I think truly what it is, and from what I've seen, a lot of the Black Lives Matter crew is not calling for any of this. They're calling for change, not calling for canceling. They're calling for change. What it is, it's the Antifa crowd that are trying to infiltrate, to try to get things to like just stop. I'm like, man, you guys they're stoking a fire is what they're doing. And they're paid protesters to do it. And it's just, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating for me. And, you know, and who knows, like, I mean, we don't have that many listeners, but someone may even want to cancel us for just what I just said. But I stand by it. Like I think it's stupid, like altogether.
Yeah. I don't see the point in it. I mean, it goes back to like socialism almost. Like,
Yeah.
cancel everything out that you don't like. And then who gets to be the deciding factor in that, and where does it stop?
Right. Now, I promise you guys, we're going to get to some good stuff, some good funny stuff. I just want to get these things out of the way. So there is, I'll try to share it one of these days. First of all, you heard of what's going on in Seattle?
Yes.
Okay. Hilarious. So people, one of the radio shows I listened to, they came up with some new names for that new little country that Antifa started. One of it was Antifistan, Syriatle, so Syria-addle, and my favorite one, I had tears running down my face. They called it Wakanda.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But so we always talk about MSR Arms, and I talked to Ryan yesterday about how that I'm wanting to get myself something real nice, but not to go cause problems, but for home defense, and to take it out with maybe you, Wilson, one day and go target shooting, just to have fun with the boys. And so right now in Seattle, there's a 6 to 7 block area that's been blocked off by this group. I believe it's Antifa, but they're calling it the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, which is basically long for Chaz. And so they created their own quote unquote country. And within their area, they've established like their little hierarchy. So they're going around and they're actually like kind of like the mob. They're demanding money from like the store owners for protection. The mob, right? And they set up walls so no one could get in. Thought you guys were against walls. And then they've established like a little bit of like their own little law enforcement thing. I'm like, oh, I thought you guys didn't like law enforcement. But there's a lot of crime and stuff happening in there. Now, in the middle of that zone is a 13th precinct of the Seattle Police Department. Well, the Seattle Police Department, like, they left. They took everything out of the police department and left because they're going to get overrun. It's basically kind of the same thing that happened in Minneapolis. Now, so there's no police right there right now. So with that being said, around that area, there's residents that have armed themselves in their own neighborhoods, and they're basically they're standing guard at their neighborhood, not allowing those people into their neighborhood. People, this is exactly why we have a Second Amendment. Exactly why. When the cops can't protect us anymore, who is going to? You are. You got to protect your family. And the picture I'm looking at right now just has a guy, just an innocent guy, has his AR slung around his back, just keeping watch because because the cops aren't there, because the politicians are saying, oh, this is like a block party. Nothing bad's happening in there. But no, these people are scared, and they're going to protect their house, and they're going to protect their family. So this is exactly why we have the Second Amendment, and we got to be smarter than this and think that, cops could protect us all the time. They can't. I mean, look at your response times. I mean, yeah, they do the best they can, but there's when they're cutting budgets, come on, man. You got to wake up and protect your family. And these people are slowly starting to move into like the rural areas. I think it was a Florida sheriff that said, you guys, I heard rumor you guys are planning on going to the rural areas. He goes, I highly discourage that. Those people own guns, and they will shoot you, and I am encouraging them to. And I'm like, I like that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's probably true, but I don't know if I was the sheriff, I'd be saying exactly that.
Well,
But
he thinks it. He's just saying what he's thinking.
yeah,
because he's fed up too, and there's a lot of sheriffs that have kind of cowered down. And I mean, I have my own views on certain things, like when there's a protest going on, and all of a sudden I see a bunch of police are also taking a knee. I'm like, I get it, you side with him, I get it and everything. However, as a police officer, this is just me speaking, you need to distinguish your feelings in that moment. I think you need to not antagonize it, and you can have your own feelings. You can be part of the solution by just talking to them, but not like kneeling like that, because I don't know, maybe that's just me. To me, it shows like you're like, I forgot what lieutenant it was. He did it, and then he got like a bunch of backlash from both sides. And he's like, I kind of regret doing it. It was in the moment. I just did it. I'm like, you could still be against racism, because I am, but I'm not going to sit here and like get on my knees and apologize to people for something I didn't do. I'm like, why am I this person? Why do I gotta apologize and bow down to people because I didn't do anything? I'm like, if we truly want to go there, my heritage is actually Native American. I know people will be like, oh, so was Elizabeth Warren. No, I'm actually card carrying Native American, and my people were murdered on the Trail of Tears. So if we're gonna go that route, shouldn't
mine too.
Yeah, us. Yeah, exactly. Shouldn't we be mad at, those people who killed our family? No, because that happened to our ancestors. And I'm not going to hold grudges against people, things that happened many, many years ago. If we're going to do that, this world is doomed. Like, are you saying like a Jew and a German can never be friends again because of what happened in World War II? It doesn't make any sense to me. At some point, we need to just be like, you know what? That sucks. That happened to our family, but you know what? We're gonna live in harmony. And I see a lot of the protesters are truly wanting that, and they're really, really wanting to go after that. And they're mad at the right people. They truly are. Like Minneapolis had the world on their side at that moment, but the second that like Antifa came in there and started like rioting and causing issues, that's when they lost a lot of supporters, and that's sad for them. Because what ends up happening is you get Antifa, they whirl their way in with the protesters, and you don't know who's who. So the police start firing tear gas. those peaceful protesters are now mad they're getting fired on. Yeah, they're going to retaliate. It sucks. And that's why Antifa they need to be held like to a really, really high accountability with these charges once they're caught. So that's just my screed on that. I know we said we weren't going to talk about it a whole lot because that's basically where we're at right now. I mainly wanted to get not so much of the cancel culture part, but the Second Amendment part. Now more than ever, I think you guys need to wake up, have a game plan. If something was to go wrong in your town, have a place where you could go in that time, and leave if something happens. Like I know where you live, Wilson. If something was happening here in Fair Oaks, I know I could just call you guys up and say, hey, can we crash at your place for the night? There's something going on here in town. Yeah, you'd let me. Same with you guys.
Say, yeah, I got a nice tent in the backyard.
you're all here's my AR. I want you to stand guard. That'll be your rent for the night.
You could sleep on the roof.
Yeah. I'm like, why are your dogs inside? They're family.
Yeah. Your first line.
So, but that's all I have on that stuff. And we're gonna get to some good stuff now, fun stuff. But yeah, just be safe, everybody. We love everybody. All types of people we love. We just want everyone to be. It is so overwhelming seeing all this happen. And the last time I saw this was in '92. Was it '92? The LA riots, Rodney King. And I was so young, it didn't really faze me. But like, man,
I don't even know if that was as bad as this.
That was just LA, wasn't it?
I think it was everywhere, but there wasn't the media coverage back then.
Right.
Now there's so much coverage
and the social media.
Yeah, and it just reaches so far. I feel like it's bigger now with this.
Yeah, social media. And speaking of that, social media is kind of the poison. So I know you're not on social media. I'm usually doing the stuff and giggles as well. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I took that break from Facebook, and it's mainly Facebook, because Facebook, you're mainly posting your thoughts and feelings. Instagram is usually pictures. Lately there's been people that would say, whatever their feelings are, or trolling. I guess there's more trolling on Facebook, I guess I would say. And I'm trying to find a way where I could still be active on Facebook with just the show page, and then on Instagram without seeing all that, because the show page just shows our stuff. It doesn't show news media and stuff. And I'm thinking about just doing away with it, man. Just fully doing away with Facebook, because when I was gone for that week, man, I was a little curious what was going on in the outside world, because my daughter was not with us. She was with my sister, and I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. So I would peek in every now and then, but not on Facebook. I'd actually peek in on the liberal media, just like local news, and just double check and make sure there's nothing happening in my town that I need to know about. But man, I literally checked my blood pressure at the end of my week before vacation, and it was just pumping, dude. It was high. I checked it on vacation, and it was normal. I'm like, wow, I gotta lay off my intake of bad news. And that's what I want you guys to do. Listen to good podcasts, listen to happy podcasts, fun podcasts, listen to music, stay away from the news for a little bit. Yeah, it's important to know what's going on, but limit your intake. Definitely limit the amount you have. I know some people, my dad was one of them, where he would watch the news all the time. I'm like, man, how can you like that? Like, man, that would drive me nuts. And then going through that feeling, I'm like, man, that would definitely made my heart go out to all first responders, just a lot, because they're dealing with it 24/7 right now. Firefighters are getting attacked. What have they done? They didn't do anything.
Everybody loves firefighters.
I know. And then I saw like fire truck getting like windows bashed up. I'm like, they didn't do anything. They're responding to a call.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
They're responding to a fire.
Yeah. So that was started by you guys.
Yeah, but I would definitely emphasize the podcast part. I know a pretty good one you guys could listen to.
Yeah, I do too. Is it's needed? Hashtag it's needed.
Oh, I was just gonna go with the real WTH show, but
Oh,
yeah,
well,
that one too.
they're already listening. And that Breaking Barriers, Breaking Barriers United is Ryan Tillman. That's his company that he goes and speaks out on to schools and stuff. He's trying to break the barriers between law enforcement and the community and the hate. And he's also a black man who's a cop. So he sees both sides of it. And he's just a solid Christian dude. And I've gotten more out of listening to that podcast than pretty much anything. Just hearing the humanity in those two guys' voices. I'm like, man, because AJ, who got hurt, by the way, a few weeks ago in the riot, he got a scooter thrown at his arm. He just went back to work, and after having a baby, well, his wife had a baby. He didn't have the baby.
Yeah.
And yeah, good movie. Oh, that'd be perfect time for my Arnold soundbite, but my soundboard's not working. But he got hurt, and they're saying like, you hear a lot of good perspective on it, and it's really motivating, and it's inspiring. That's one. I listen to a lot of like horror movie podcasts, like movie reviews and like comedy ones. Makes me laugh. But yeah, just definitely limit your intake, and because you'll go crazy. You'll definitely go crazy. But
let's talk about something happy.
Okay. Did you see the SpaceX launch?
Oh yeah, I did.
Dude,
I actually watched it at work.
I didn't. I was gonna watch it live the first time it was gonna launch, and then it got postponed because of weather. And then I caught it I was like, man, I must have been like minutes behind. I didn't realize I was watching. It was live, but I was behind in the live stream. I wasn't caught up. I'm like, oh, I could have watched it live. Man, that is just the coolest thing ever. Like, that's a bucket list thing for me is watching is getting to see a rocket take off. I think that'd be one of
the one thing that I want to do is I want to go out there afterwards and see if stuff really does turn to glass.
Is that what they say happens?
Yeah, because of the heat from the rockets. Like, because glass is just sand, correct?
Right. But I know the sand part of Cape Canaveral and stuff is away from it, though. It's where they launch at. It's like a cement concrete pad.
I don't know. I heard that a long time ago, and I always wanted to go see if it really did that.
No, that'd be cool though, for sure. I watched videos of people with their cell phones, and it's cool because it's kind of like a sonic boom in a way. Like you see the rocket taking off in the background, and I'm like, oh, you don't hear it. Also, you hear like this monstrous rumble. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, gosh, that's crazy. Like, there's people in there. And I remember in high school we were talking about like I think we watched Apollo 13 in high school, and I was just talking to my teacher about how amazing it is, like how far we've come, like in like space travel. Because before it was a rocket would get launched in the air, and then this little pod would fall back to Earth with a parachute and land in the ocean, and then they get rescued. Well, now we're literally, it's like a plane. You fly it back in.
Fly it back.
Well, how cool is that? Well, that's neat, man. And then what Elon Musk has done, which is he returns the rocket back and it lands the way it took off.
Yeah, in the middle of the ocean on a platform.
That's moving.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is that possible? I'm like, this is nuts. And so I nerd out on that stuff, man. Like big time. I love that. I remember a few years ago, my daughter and I were doing a science project for her homeschool, and we were doing rocket studies, and we did small scale baking soda vinegar, launch it. And then we went full scale in at a park in Roseville, and where I put like the small rocket in where, it went up like, not that far. And then it fell back. Then we put a new rocket in, the little engine, the little firework they put in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, here's the big one. I'm like, we're going to do it. I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get it back. And I still have video of it, and we launched it, and it was never seen again. It was gone.
So you watch Dude Perfect videos?
Oh yeah.
They have a rocket challenge on there. And I think there's actually like 2 of them. They did like a second one because the first one was so cool. And I think the second one, it's incredible. Like they make their own rockets and whoever gets it to launch the highest. And then when it comes back down, if they can catch it as it's coming down, they get extra points for that too. But one of the rockets, I think they said it went up like 2,000 feet in the air.
Yeah,
It was just gone.
those things are crazy. I've always wanted a rocket when I was a kid, and I remember it was really funny. Right after I left the sheriff's office, I was camping out up at Silver Lake, and I brought my air-powered rocket, which is basically just like a bicycle pump, and it has air, and you flip a switch, and it just launches with air. So there's no fire, spark, or anything. And then Alpine County deputy shows up, and it's funny because I actually recognized him because he would bring them into the jail I worked at, and so I go, it wasn't like a first name basis. I recognize his face, and he goes, "Yeah, we got a call about like someone shooting a gun off up here." I'm like, "No, I didn't hear any gun because this air powered rocket isn't loud. It's just like it sounds like like you're popping a wine bottle open or whatever."
It sounds like that cow killer on No Country for Old Men.
Yes, pretty much the blunderbuss or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But he has a whoop, it makes a noise, and I'm like, I haven't heard anything. And I go, I've been launching my rocket, and I think he thought I was literally launching a rocket, and he had something on me, like, oh, this dude's launching a firework in a forest, like that.
Yes, yes, I am.
So he goes, really, you're launching a rocket, huh? I go, yeah. He goes, you want to launch it for me? Well, yeah, give me a second. So I hook it all up, and he's sitting there, he's just waiting. He's like, oh, I'm going to get this guy good. All of a sudden I start pumping it up. He's like, what? Gives his look like this, like, what's that? Also I flip it, and that thing goes higher than the trees. He's like, holy crap, that thing is awesome. I'm like, yeah, I told you, it's cool. But yeah, those things are cool. I nerd out. We were at Hobby Lobby earlier. I was in the rocket area. I'm like, oh man, I really want to get another one. But I got a new toy though that I'm nerding out more on. Moron. A few days before vacation, I got myself a drone. That I am so excited about. They're kind of hard to fly because remember when we were at our buddy Brian's house for that barbecue and he had his drone?
Yeah.
I
remember.
Yeah, he flew over his house and took a picture of all this.
That was for Eric's birthday, wasn't it?
Was it for Eric's birthday?
I think so.
I can't remember. We've been over, dude. We got to get back over there again. That's such a good fun time.
Speaking of that guy, he lives back up here now. Just so you know.
I know. I think you told me we got to get him on to hang out, or at least to hang out.
He's got some good stories to tell.
Yeah, and he can tell now. I think if he wants to.
Yes. So, hint. If you're listening.
Yeah, if you're listening,
Eric, which you should be.
Yeah, if you're not, then kindly please start listening. And if you are listening and you're hearing this, that means you're listening. So, and if I just said that and you weren't listening, you wouldn't know that I told you that. So I might want to send him a message and say, hey, listen.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I got this drone and it's kind of cool. First of all, the way that I got it was through my work. I've been doing this like weight loss health program thing. And if I hit these certain goals and stuff, I get like points, and each point is $1. And then I could spend that dollar in like their online store, get like a golf club or like a necklace or like a backpack, something like that.
So you got the necklace. I see.
I did.
Yeah.
But I don't really want any of that. So I'm like, but that's all on there. It says Amazon gift cards. I'm like, well, if $1 is truly worth $1, then I was thinking, how like you go to like Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, like you it's like 500 tickets will get you this thing that costs like 25 cents.
Yeah.
I was thinking like maybe the dollar for dollar thing is worth the stuff that I could buy through their marketplace only, but like it's worth less through Amazon. So I double checked, and so I'm like, I'm gonna try to get $100 Amazon gift card. So I went over there and oh crap, it worked because I had like 400 something points. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I moved over a couple hundred onto the thing and went down Amazon and found myself a couple $100 drone that has a 1080p camera. I'm like, I'm gonna fly this at my my vacation. Because where we were vacationing was out in the Delta because our original plans got canceled because of the Rona. And so we were out in the Delta, and the house we were at, which is an awesome little country house, has like a huge like pear orchard in the backyard. I never even saw the end of it. And I'm like, man, I want to fly that thing around the orchard, but I'm not that good at flying it. So the last thing I want to do is fly it way out and have it get stuck in a tree. So I just flew it up above the house and had it look over the whole orchard and the house and everything. And then a couple of days later, it was my daughter's last day of school, and she's just bummed because she can't see her friends. So I'm like, it's our last night here. Let's go pick her up. So we went and picked her up, and we brought her back to the house with us, and we were flying it around. And I have some funny videos of it. I have it flying like right at my face, and last second I have it like go straight up in the air. Man, I think it zip around. I think it's cool. And then it really got me digging deeper on YouTube for racing drones, and those things.
Oh yeah,
those things are awesome.
Yeah, and you wear VR goggles when you fly them.
Yeah, and I saw those, and I'm like, man, I want to make one. And I was like, I'm going to price them.
Don't do that.
And then I'm like, oh my gosh.
You said, oh man, I got to lose more weight.
Yeah, but I was just like, oh, those things are so cool. And just some of the videos these guys get with these drones, it really disorients you because they flip and they go up, and just I don't even know how these guys fly it with VR. I'd throw up. It's like a roller coaster minus the track, and it's so much fun. And when I was flying that, I was like, dude, I'm not even thinking about anything. I'm not thinking about all the crap in the world right now. I was just so in tune with the drone. My drone's not a racing drone. It's more or less like I would say like a cinematic one. I mean, it can go fast. It can't do tricks, can't flip upside down, but like I was like messing with it like at eye level, like right in front of me, where it literally like is standing still. It's like this solid hover, and the camera on it moves up and down so I could zoom in and stuff. I may or may not have flown it to the second story when my wife was taking a shower and scared her with it. Yeah,
that's illegal.
She thought it was funny. But man, it was so cool. And then I also got my new mic with it too, which was good way to start my vacation, which was my new drone. I'm still learning stuff about that drone, like different things. It has this feature on it where it takes kind of like a facial recognition of you, like a selfie, so it recognizes you and like your person. So like it kind of like highlights your body. And then I just hit a button on my controller because it uses my phone as like the camera, and it's kind of like the interface. And I hit a button, and then I could just walk, and it just follows me. It just tracks me. So if I wanted to ride a bike and have it track me when I'm going on a track or something, it just follow right behind me the whole time.
So you bought Big Brother then? Pretty
much, man.
Yeah.
China's watching me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be riding that bike naked. Joke's on them. But man, like I can't wait to like get more. I'm thinking about honestly turning my my Facebook page or my Instagram page into just a bunch of cool drone videos and drone shots, and then maybe eventually getting more stuff. Like if you look above me in the video, I have like 3 helicopters up here that my buddy Brandon gave me. I haven't flown them a whole lot. One of them has a camera on it, but drones they're a lot different than the helicopters. They maneuver a lot more precise. Helicopters, like, they're very like, forward, back, you gotta turn around. Like that drone, like I go forward and then back, and then all of a sudden it spins around and shoots right back to me. And what's funny is it has like a thing on it where it says like a beginner level, where you can only go like 30 meters up, which I can't remember how much that is in RENs. I think it's like 70 feet. So
about 90.
Is it 90?
Yeah, a meter is about 3 feet.
So I mean, it's up there. I mean, that's still up in the high. That's higher than I feel comfortable. I mean, 90 feet. I mean, that thing's gonna crash and break. And I did crash it. And that thing's durable too. Um, but I'm like, so that's 30 meters up, and that's on beginner setting. And then if you unlock beginner setting and then you go and you slide it all to the right and open it all the way up, because it has its own Wi-Fi built in, it can go 300 meters. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, I won't
That's
even
pretty
see it.
high.
I won't even
Yeah.
see it. And it has that where it returns back to you. So if it has enough battery power, so it knows how far away from you it is. And if it knows that it's too far away and how much battery power it has left, that it's not going to make it back, it'll just automatically turn right back around and land.
That's
So
pretty cool.
last thing I want to do is lose it. So I'm babying that thing, but I just want to get some really, really good good footage with it too. And I was talking to you about it. I'm like, dude, I want to get some cool footage of you fishing. I think it'd be really neat. Like
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Might scare the fish away a little bit, but it'd be cool, like getting some shots of you at the lake, like flying over.
I do have vacation coming up. So
Oh, we got to talk about that whenever that is.
yeah.
Maybe we'll bust out like 5 shows in a row.
Put them on the back burner.
Yeah, just have them banked. But yeah, man, my vacation was good. Never long enough. I put out like a little Instagram video, explaining that, we were I think I vaguely said like why we haven't put it out yet is because on vacation. I wasn't going to edit a video on vacation, and we were having issues with the thing. But
You were having issues.
I was having issues. I say we because we're in a marriage together, and this marriage is called the Real WTH Show. I wear the pants, by the way. But yeah, the town we stayed in was called Cortland. It's out in the Delta. That's some cool little towns out there. It's right on the river. Walnut Grove is just up the road, or Locke, then Walnut Grove. And then we drove around. There's this mansion out there called the Grand Island Mansion. We drove by the old sugar mill. I think it's a winery now. Looks pretty cool. Drove out just drove along the river. And what's cool about it is I never been out there. I never had any inkling to go out there, but it's 30 minutes away from where I live. And it's kind of like a hidden gem of how cool that place is. Cause it's like, you're still in Sacramento County, but you feel like you're way far away, which was kind of nice. And then on Saturday, I wanted to surprise my daughter with the end of school year trip, and I wanted to take her to the beach. Now, during this time, like we were in phase 3, things were open, but some things weren't open because we were going to go on some hikes. And my wife and I did go on many hikes when we were out on our vacation, but there's nothing better than like a coastal hike, man. That's just, one, it's not hot, and you're right there on the ocean. And so I was going to take her to Point Arena Lighthouse, which is in Marin County, and it has a cool tunnel you can walk through. But I looked it up, and they had everything blocked off. You can't even drive back there. So my second place was Muir Beach Overlook. So not the beach, but the overlook, and that was open. So it's basically like a cliff, and you look over the edge, and it's all like fenced off. Like you have like a railing on each side, and got some good pictures there. My daughter was super happy. It was windy as heck out there. And then I'm like, you know what? We're going to drive an hour and a half north. We're going to go to the Point Reyes, which I went to Point Reyes back when I was in elementary school on a field trip. And on your way back there's this thing called the Cypress Tree Tunnels. It's like a tunnel. It's like a bunch of trees lined up. Remember in Forrest Gump, that long driveway to his house?
Yeah, where he runs.
Yeah, where he runs.
Yeah.
It was like cypress trees that grow over that, and it looks like a tunnel. And I wanted to go out there, not for the lighthouse, but for that tunnel. And I didn't even realize that like my wife's already heard about this. I thought I was like going to show her something new, and she's always wanted to go. And so, and this is all a secret to them. They didn't know I already had this plan. And so I'm like, oh, that's where we're going to go right there. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I've been wanting to go here for so long. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So win for me. But
Brownie points.
yeah, how do you think I got that drone? Even though it was beforehand. But yeah, man, it's so good it was so nice to be away. So nice to it kind of feels normal a little bit, with you have restaurants are opening back up. We went and had dinner tonight, and it's I think that's a lot of people's problem right now is people are cooped up and they're going crazy. And then, finally we're able to do things now. And I noticed when I was coming home from work yesterday, I hit traffic. I'm like, man, I don't miss that. But it was kind of like a welcoming feeling. I'm like, oh man, it actually feels like it's going back to normal, even though it's not. It kind of sort of feels like it. But did you have anything else? I have one more story, but I don't want to check in with you, see if you had anything.
So I didn't go on vacation. I had to go to work, but somewhere far away.
Yeah.
But you know the movie iRobot?
With Will Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. So I kind of lived that on this
What?
vacation. Did I not tell you about this?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I stay at this hotel. It was a really nice hotel, by the way. It was out in Healdsburg. You know where that is?
I don't know if that's that, but you showed me a picture of the hotel. A girl, this is my hotel. I'm like, geez, look at you.
Yeah. But I guess Healdsburg is like the nice area. Like you have Santa Rosa, which is, it's nice. And then there's like Windsor, and then above Windsor, there's Healdsburg. And apparently that's like where the rich people live.
Is that before Ukiah?
I don't know where Ukiah is.
I don't know.
But I stay at this hotel, and it's like almost brand new. I think it's like 2 years old. And I get there, and I walk in. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm like balling right now. Like there's literally like a caravan of Porsches out in the parking lot, and like all these high-end cars and stuff. I was like, where are we? And we check in, we get up to the hotel, and I walk in, and it's a suite. So it's got like the full kitchen and everything, a full-size fridge and freezer. Like I've never seen that.
That's rare.
Yeah. And it's got like what are those called? The stoves that can boil water in like 90 seconds.
Like a hot plate?
No, it's a stove, but it's electric, but for some reason it boils water like super quick.
Well, I have like one of those
convection or something like
that.
I
have one of those electric kettles that like it heats up really quick. But it's not a stove, it's like a kettle that heats up.
I forget what it's called, but had one of those in there. It even had a dishwasher. Like I've never been in a hotel room with a dishwasher.
It came with a wife? I love you guys. I'm just kidding.
So, and then the TV was massive. Biggest TV I've seen in a hotel before. Like when I was laying on the bed watching TV, I had to like turn my head sideways to be able to watch. And so it was pretty cool. And then I think it was the second day. We were coming back from work, and we're walking up to the hotel, and we get to the elevator, and there's this it looks like almost like a trash can, like sitting right in front of the elevator door. I'm like, what the heck? And I look, and it's got a screen on it. And on the screen, it says, I'm going to floor 3. And I was like, what is this? So we hit the button for the elevator. The doors open, and this thing goes by itself into the elevator.
What?
I was like, what is this? So it said, I'm going to floor 3. We were on floor 2. So we hit 2. And then since it said 3, we're like, okay, we'll hit 3, but this thing's going to be stupid and it's going to get off at our floor. So we're going up, doors open for floor 2. We go and walk out. The thing stays in there. I was like, how does it know to stay here?
Oh man.
So that was like the end of it. I didn't really see it after that. And then I ran out of trash bags in my room. So I called the front desk, and I was like, hey, I need some trash bags. Do I have to come down and get them? And he goes, no, I'll send some up to you. I said, okay. So I'm sitting there watching TV, and I hear a phone start ringing, and I'm watching the show, and it's bugging me. Like it's like 5-6 times it's rung now. And I'm like, why are they not answering the phone on this TV show I'm watching? Then I realized, oh, that's my phone in my room. So I go and I answer it, and it says, Rose. Rose is at your door. I was like,
did he even give
I was like,
Mexican name or something?
I I don't know.
So margarita is at your door.
I
It's a robot.
I was like, rosé. I was like, they're giving me wine. What's going on? So I go to my door and I like look out the little peephole on the door and I was like, the trash can's in front of my door.
Oh.
I open it, and right when I open the door, it says, "Here's your delivery," and the top pops open on it, and there's trash bags in the top of it. And I was like, "Oh!" So I grab it, and then it says, "Do you need anything else?" And I hit no,
Oh,
and then
I would just love it. You're all, no, you're like talking to this thing.
and so I hit no, and then it says, "How was your stay?" And it has like a star rating. I was like, "Oh, whatever, I'll do 5 stars." So I hit 5 stars. This thing on the screen, it says "Yay," and then it starts doing like an R2D2 beep thing, and it spins around in a circle. And it says,
No.
yeah, and then it says, "We're so happy that you like it here," or something like that. And then it said, "Do you need anything else?" I said no. And then it said, "Okay, I'm going home." And it did a little beep thing and took off down the hall.
And you didn't get video of this or a picture of it at all.
Oh, I have picture when we rode on the elevator with it. I have video.
Send that to me, and I also want to know the name of the hotel because I want to stay there.
Is a Hotel Trio.
Oh, so it's not even is it a part of like?
I think it's by Marriott.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Okay, I don't know if it's the same robot, but a few years ago we went to Palo Alto to there's a mall there near Stanford, and it's they have like the American Girl doll store, and my daughter was really into those dolls for a while, and so we were it's an outdoor mall, kind of like the Palladio and Folsom or whatever, but it's really really nice. And I saw this thing, I'm all, what the heck is that? It looks like R2D2, but it's a little bit taller, more pointy.
Yeah. That's kind of how this was.
But it had cameras all over it. It was security, and it kept going around, and it was like it would look at things, and if you like taunt it or push it, it tells you to stay back. I was like, dude.
And then it pulls out a taser. Yeah, I just sent you the video, but it's in a link. So because Samsung and Apple don't get along, so I have to send you a link to it so you get the I think I have 8K video of it, so you'll get the full experience on it.
Oh, so yeah, this thing looks different than the other thing. Yeah, I'll watch this video in a little bit. But I was like, that's so weird, man. Like, I mean, honestly, this is a perfect segue to my final story, by the way, because it sounds like you had great customer service with a robot.
Yeah, I mean the people that were there were nice too, but yeah, the robot was definitely I've never dealt with this before. Kind of felt like we were going into that whole iRobot thing.
I would love to like file like a noise complaint and have on like call them from my cell phone but call them to my room and say like, oh, there's a noise complaint coming from my room. I want to see how the robot handles a noise complaint.
Yeah, I don't know all that they use it for. I know they deliver stuff in it. I don't know what else they use it for though.
Can they deliver like room service, like food?
Yeah, I mean they have like snacks and stuff like that, and I know that one of the people where we were working, he stayed there before, and he had his daughter with him, and she ordered like $100 worth of room service, like candy and stuff like that, just to have the robot come back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool. I mean, scary, but cool. I know, have you ever been in a Walmart early in the morning when they have like those guys that are driving around on those little Zambonis that are like cleaning the floor?
Yeah.
Those are all automated now.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So I walk into one, and on the sides of them, where it's the same Zamboni, which is weird. So where the guy would normally sit, it's like it has like two, like, you know, those little when you go to a bank, it's those little stanchions that like they kind of like a little rope that like feeds back into itself.
Yeah.
It has those, but it blocks off so you can't sit on it. And that thing like knows, you know, if it's going to bump into somebody, and it stops and it turns right. It's kind of like a Roomba.
Oh, I know what that's like.
Yeah, I remember I was amazed by it at your house. I kept kicking it. I wanted to like name it. But you had good customer service with a robot, and I want to tell you my story about my awful service with DoorDash. we were got home late one night, my wife and I. This is last week, and we're like, I don't feel like cooking. We're just exhausted, and I'm like, let's just get DoorDash. We'll get our favorite Chinese place. We'll have them deliver it. And it was late too. It was like 9:30. I mean, we were slacking big time. So, my wife and I are in our bedroom. We're watching TV, and we've never had any issues with people coming to our apartment. Usually if you just look at the apartment like map when you first pull in, just look and you know where to go. Well, this guy, he's like, I don't know where your apartment's at. My wife's like, oh, well, if you go in this area right here, we're next to the barbecues, and it's right there. It's pretty easy if you go to the leasing office and go straight. He's all, I still can't find it. And it was like he just texted, like he didn't even like look. And mind you, you could track them on your phone and see when they're going to arrive. He literally pulled in and said he can't find us. He didn't try looking. And so I'm like, and I know this because I did DoorDash before. I know how this works. And so my wife's like, well, there is we didn't want to walk all the way outside, all the way down there. It's not the closest thing. Plus, we're paying for a service for you to bring it to our door. It's not called Parking Lot Dash. It's called DoorDash for a reason. So she's just like, well, there's a map over there, you can see. And then he said, I left it by the leasing office in Joy. And she's like,
wow.
Yeah. And so my wife's like, what? And so she goes, I simply asked you to look at the map. And I can vouch for it. She wasn't doing anything bad. She wasn't like rude or anything. She was just like, she was helping him. Hold on a second. Something's going on outside. Hold on.
This is intense.
Hey, Wilson, hold on. There's a fight outside. Exciting stuff, man. I'll have to edit that out.
I'm not editing
Dude,
that out.
Like 30 people.
Really?
We had this one neighbor who's like downright mean. She's white, and she's not friendly at all.
Did you get any cell phone video?
No, I left it in here, honestly.
Oh.
Dude, the thing is, there's a nice party going on here. I mean, I just got to say it. Black people, everything, nothing going on. Kids just being very friendly. And this one lady over here, this old lady, she's always rude to me, to my daughter, and she's white. And I think she said something. And when I went out there on the balcony, I was just being a witness. I heard the dad say, "Don't talk to my kids like that." I'm like, oh, dude, she said something. And dude, not the time. And they're like pushing her and everything too. So I'm sure I'm sure she's going to call the cops. So I'm not going to bother. I just heard a bunch of commotion. I was being a witness,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get involved in any, especially when there's that many people out. Especially when I'm wearing my Honor the Fallen shirt.
I could take them all on. But it sounds like it's just one person that
dude,
the troublemaker.
Dude, there's a lot of people there, but yeah, it another reason why I hate the state of our world right now is people are sensitive right now, and you don't say things. And if you're living in an apartment as well like this, you got to understand, I live in a community. This is so weird that we're talking about DoorDash right now, is because where the fight happened was a barbecue area. And I basically, I hear people barbecuing all the time, parties and stuff, people having fun. That's what you expect when you live in an apartment in the community area. Is you hear, you get a lot of the parties and stuff. You get all that. If you don't like it, don't live in an apartment and don't live near a barbecue. Now, I don't know what exactly happened out there, but I do know that the lady that they were pushing, and she's older, and you shouldn't be pushing an old lady, but that lady, she's not very friendly. And the ironic thing is she lives literally right next to the manager. So the manager for the whole apartment lives just like an eye shot. I could look right into her balcony. So with that being said, I'm going to edit out the long pause, but I'm going to keep the whole thing because it's kind of exciting. So
I know. I told my wife. She said, "Make sure he records it." I said, "Oh, we got audio."
because what was it? Was I like this? Was I like? I mean, dude, if I could hear it in my headphones,
I could hear it. I was like, "What is going on?"
because like I'm talking normal, like right now, out of my mic, and you can barely hear me until I move back forward again. So if you could hear that outside, that's how loud it was. It was funny as my wife and my daughter and her friend who's staying the night tonight were in the hallway. I'm like, don't go outside. She's like, Mom, there's a fight. And they're all, you don't hear anything. I'm like, how do you not hear it? I'm like, man, it's like Minneapolis outside right now. So anyways, DoorDash, he said, I left it by the leasing office. Enjoy. And my wife goes, if you would have just simply just like, I just asked you to do this. And then he goes, well, if you weren't so freaking rude or something like that. I'm like, oh no, dude, no. So I go, get on the phone with DoorDash right now. So she calls DoorDash, and she says, then we go out and get the food. Okay, dude, he took it and he threw it on the ground.
Oh.
So it had those styrofoam little containers, and inside the food was all spilled out. I'm all, one, not going to eat it. Two, I don't know what that guy did to my food.
Yeah.
And so we called him, and now it's 10:30 at night. So my wife just called, and oh, she was mad. She's just like, I can't get like a replacement meal tonight, because everything's like closing, and what am I supposed to do? And so the DoorDash was actually great. So every company has bad. Don't judge a company by a few bad people.
Yeah.
So DoorDash took care of it right off the bat. They credited us all of our money and doubled that same amount that we spent originally in credit. So that would have been
cool.
That's over $112. So I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, good job, DoorDash. I'm not gonna leave a bad Yelp review or anything because you guys righted that wrong. But that guy shouldn't have a job, and in today's world that we live in, dude, you should be lucky that you have a job. And so yeah, it didn't get me really, like, it didn't ruin my week. I was shocked because I'm like I've never had anybody treat someone with such disrespect before based off of nothing. So I was like, man, that's a little weird. But we'll be ordering DoorDash again. We've done it since then. We've used that credit. But you just sometimes you have to have a robot to give you good service, and sometimes a human just sucks.
That's showing where the world's going.
Yeah. So it's like RoboCop and Terminator and all that. But so anyway,
Skynet.
hold on a second. What? You can't go by. Can you wait just like 5 seconds? I'm almost done recording. Yeah. Now I got to edit that. Jesus.
Leaving it all in.
Normally I don't have to edit the videos, man.
It's going to be a 3-hour episode.
Yeah. Man, and I took her to that cypress tree tunnel and everything, and she still interrupts the show. It's all for nothing, I tell you. It's all for nothing. So
you got a drone.
True. But that was my reward for getting fit or something. I don't know. But yeah, man. So back on what we were saying, I think that's basically it for our show, but I just wanted to plug MSR Arms again. You're right though, man. Like I contacted Ryan and I had a couple of questions for him the other day. It wasn't even about anything that had to do with any of the products he sold. It had to do with laws and like tests. Like, do you still have to take tests for like a shotgun? Like I always thought that was just for a handgun. He goes, yeah. I go,
oh yeah, it's everything now. They were gonna make me take a test for getting the lower that I bought, just the lower. And I was like, I have to take a firearm safety test for this? He goes, yeah, unless you have a different thing. And I still had my exposed permit from working with Loomis.
Yeah.
And I said, does this count? He goes, yeah, it does. And then he looked, he's like, oh, they just said that doesn't count anymore. I was like, so you're telling me
That's
that
weird.
I think it's like a 20 question test is more acceptable than how long is that firearms course that we have to go through?
It was a day, wasn't it? Oh, no.
It was a couple
It was a
days.
couple days, and then the third. I think it's 3 days because the third day is range day.
Yeah. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that I have been through a police academy
Yeah,
and that my post was still current.
yeah.
And it was, yeah, but I think they ended up being able to take my post certificate. I just had to find a picture of it. Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying,
Yeah,
like
but-
he answered a question. I was like, dude, thank you. I asked him for his opinion on a few things, and dude, I mean, even if you just have questions about laws, especially California, because our laws are so hokey here, man, reach out to him. MSRarms.com. He'll help you out. He wants you to have a good quality gun. He wants you to do it legally, and he wants you basically to just have like no hiccups and no headaches, and he just wants you to get in there and out, because nobody likes taking tests. And so he just wants you, or going to a gun store or whatever, or buying a gun and realizing, oh, there's this hiccup. He wants to give you all the information that you need, and here's what you need, and he'll do that for you too. So I can speak for that. And this time I'm actually going to remember to do it. But yeah, if you want to get a hold of us, you could find us on any social media outlet, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which we're never really on, Untapped, which is where we put all of our beer reviews, and those are all at the Real WTH Show. And then our email, therealwthshow@gmail.com. And then you could call us at 916-259-3030. And you could leave a voicemail, or you could even text us. So if there's something you want to talk about, or you think we should talk about, or are they fighting again?
Something's loud.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I should probably check. Hold on. No, they're good. They're doing happy birthday and celebrating, which is stupid. I mean, it's stupid. They're having a birthday party. They weren't doing anything. So anyways, so yeah, send us a text or voicemail. It's truly up to you. There's something that you don't agree with, and you want to be anonymous, just let us know. We love to have discussions. If there's something that I said that's out of line, or you want to know more about, or you want to debate on, that's fine. I'm open to conversation. I'm one of those people that if you say something that's a completely different point of view than what I am, I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I might be like, oh, that's a good point. I never really truly thought of that. Thanks for letting me know. Like, I didn't think of it that way. I like to be educated on certain things, but I can't be educated on certain things if people don't know where I stand, to let me know different points of view and stuff. So if I'm not, like I said, I'm not down with cancel culture, but if you want to call me out on something, let me know. I'm
Change
down
my mind.
Exactly.
Don't copyright us, Steven Crowder.
Yeah. Poor guy gets hosed by YouTube. But yeah, man.
And I think on Untapped they can suggest beers, right?
I don't know that. Can they?
I think they can. If you can, and you want us to try a certain beer, then I'm all for it. I go to Thin Line a lot because I hang out with Scott quite a bit. So, and we're there doing the brewing and stuff like that. And I like to try the beer that I've seen been made,
It's kind of fun. It's like trying
it's
like trying your food after you've made a new meal and you never made it in before.
You're I was there for this black IPA. I was super excited about it when it was being made, and then I got to see all the steps and everything, and then had to wait for it to do the fermentation and everything, and then it came out a couple weeks later. So it's cool to see like finished product and everything. But I'm all for trying other types of beer and from different places. I like IPAs, but I'll try anything. So if you guys have a suggestion, and I know Beardsley, if you're listening,
Love that guy.
you have to have some type of suggestion for me.
Love that guy. Oh, and if you guys don't have Untapped, you can also do the same thing.
Oh yeah, text us or something. Or
Yeah, suggest it, because we're down, you know. And obviously, as long as there's no blackberry in it, I'll take a sip. Well, once we're back in the studio, I'll take a sip, you know, and give it my own thoughts, you know, because some of them I can handle. I mean, but some of them I'm just like, I can't do it.
Speaking of blackberries, too bad you don't like bubbly and you can't drink blackberry, because their blackberry one is very good.
I saw that one. I don't know, man. I think you're trying to kill me.
I just want to see what happens.
Yeah,
I'll stand there with an EpiPen. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's I won't die, dude. It's not like that. It's just very uncomfortable for me.
Uh-huh.
I break out everywhere. It feels like I've fallen in like a bunch of like poison oak.
I wouldn't know how that feels because I'm not allergic to it. So.
Are you okay? So you're one of the few that I was telling my daughter about that aren't immune to it. I hate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Because when I was hiking on our vacation, I was like, you know, like doing like this cool little weave through like all the bushes. I'm like, oop, nope, poison oak. And I was like, it was like an act of pride when I went home. I'm like, I don't itch. Oh yeah. I'm like, I'm good. Don't need to cover myself in calamine lotion tonight. Just regular lotion. Oh yeah. So anyways, that's all we got for you. Hopefully we'll get back in the studio soon. Like I said, Wilson's schedule's changing a little bit. We're trying to put him out as much as we can. But that's all I got. So until then, laters on the Minjay.
I will talk to you then, or I will talk to you another time.
Jobin, stop it.
Does Kermit here?
Here. Want to touch? Here. Hey, Mr.
Jeff?